Okay. Yo, what's up? Hey guys. Hey Jay here. Hey, what's going on, y'all? Alright, well, I figure let me just make this video real quick because ever since I started building weapons on zombies, I realized one thing. There's attachments that I kinda understand, and then there's some attachments that don't make sense to me at all. That's before I started playing multiplayer, and I never understood what those attachments meant until I started playing multiplayer. And because I was like, is this attachment good for me, not good for me? What does it even do? And now that I've been building guns and zombies in multiplayer, I just figured I'd just build one gun. I'm not gonna build one in every category because that'll make the video longer, and I try not to make my videos long. So I'm just gonna build one weapon, and I'm gonna tell you what attachment will make perfect sense in multiplayer, but absolutely make no sense in zombies. So now I'm gonna build the aims because it's an assault rifle, and most of my homeboys either play with an assault rifle or submachine gun. All right, so as you can see at the bottom right, it shows 0 out of 8. That's because you got 8 slots to choose from, and you got 9 slots here. I don't know if you noticed that, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that means one of these categories don't make sense. So I'm gonna just break it down of which one you should just avoid altogether, and you should never put it on a build in zombies. But I'm gonna start from left all the way to right. The optic, I mean, you know, it's all what you want to do. Let me see. I used to use this one right here, the red dot, and it's still not bad because it don't really matter in zombies. But since I've been using this one in multiplayer, because it makes it a little bit clearer to see things, to see your enemy, I've just been using this one because that's just a personal preference. The options are all personal preferences, basically. So, but I'm just gonna just show you how I build mine. So this is the one I would pick. All right. So now, the only one of these you should rock in zombies is the suppressor right here, because it just gives you extra salvage. In some other Call of Duty, they give you extra salvage and give you some other stuff, but the recoil, you don't need to control your recoil in zombies. You ain't got to worry about that at all. All of that kickback and all of that stuff, you ain't got to worry about none of that, because as soon as you get Deathshot Daiquiri, all of this is irrelevant. None of this matters at all. I mean, I guess, well, actually, you know what? Let me take this back a little bit, because every build is a little bit different. I take it back a little bit what I said. Well, actually, I don't take back what I said. This doesn't make sense, and this doesn't make sense in zombies. But this one kind of does, because it's going to give me a chance to get dropped, but it's also going to make my damage range and bullet velocity stronger. So I actually will pick this over that, to be honest with you. This one does make more sense. All right, moving over to the barrel. The barrel, you should pick and choose what options make the most sense to you. And I used to use this one because it gave you that damage range, and I was like, this one makes the perfect sense. But this one is gonna make your gun stronger long distance no matter what. But this particular one, the CHF barrel, that gives you extra damage to the head, and most of us do extra damage to the head. So this is the one that I would pick, because the moment that I get my Deathshot Daiquiri, my gun is automatically my gun is gonna feel like it's automatically stronger, because I'm gonna be shooting to the head, and this gives you more damage to the head. So I'm gonna pick this one. But if this one wasn't still locked, then I would pick this one. So that's what I would do. So put this on. So now the underbarrel. The underbarrel is a category that I definitely love to put on horizontal recoil for multiplayer. But an underbarrel absolutely makes no sense in zombies. It's gonna be, well, let me see. Well, let me rephrase that. It's not that it doesn't make any sense. Like if you wanted to have a grenade, yeah, or you wanted to smoke smoke grenade and some of those other little things. But this category is mostly about controlling your recoil. So I love to put either this on, and I can't wait till I unlock this G-grip. This is new, and this will make your gun shoot a little bit more like a laser. That makes perfect sense in multiplayer, but it doesn't make any sense in zombies, really. So this is the category that I recommend you skip, and for most of your builds, unless you got a specific challenge about grenades, or let's say like they did a buff and they saying, hey, everybody rock this grenade because it's just killing zombies like crazy. If they do some outrageous buff, then yeah. But other than that, regular gameplay, I think you should avoid this category altogether. Now, the magazine. I think that having a magazine that's much smaller and does less cons is a perfect magazine to put on if you're playing multiplayer. But in zombies, none of that doesn't really matter that much at all, unless you're dealing with a gun that the reload speed is so messed up, then yeah. But other than that, put on the biggest magazine. The only ones that I don't recommend you put on the biggest magazine is maybe like your LMGs, because they take so long to reload. Sometimes it's actually worth the sacrifice to have a little bit less bullets, but you reload a little bit faster in the LMG category. But an assault rifle is not going to take that long. So I would put on the Extend Mag 2, or if you have a gun that has an Extend Mag 3, put that one on. But for this particular weapon, you don't need to reload faster and worry about your aim down. Yeah, you should put this one on. Alright, so the red grip. Let me see what we got here. Every gun is a little bit different, so I got to look at each one to see what's good. Aim down sight, this gives you sprint to fire. If I was playing this in multiplayer, I think I would pick this one, because it gives you the takes care of your aim down sight and your sprint to fire. That's the one I would probably pick. But in multiplayer, this one does make the most sense because it's the most balanced. Unless you're a dude that really loves the slide and stuff. Even in zombies, if you really love sliding a lot, you could pick this. But to me, we camp a lot. So my style of play is camping. So the quicker I can aim down sight each time to activate my Deadshot Daiquiri, this is the one that makes the most sense to me. So this is the one that I'm going to pick for this. Now, moving on to the stock. The stock, let me look at it. Hip fire, movement. Okay. This is aim, walking speed. Well, one good thing I can say about the stock is if you take a good look, it has no cons at all. If you take a look to the right, none of these have cons. So they're all going to make your gun better and not worse. It's all about your personal preference. As for me, I think the one that I will go with is I will go with this one, because every once in a while, it doesn't happen that often, but every once in a while, I hip fire. So if I'm going to hip fire, and my movement, I care about my movement and stuff like that. My hip fire is going to help me a little bit. Now, aim, walking speed, that doesn't make no sense, because you're going to like crouch down and move, and you want to do that in multiplayer as you're aiming down sight, and you want to be moving a little bit faster as you're moving from left to right, and you can pick somebody off. That makes perfect sense. I would put this one on definitely in multiplayer, but I wouldn't put it on the zombies at all. You don't need to like sneak up on a zombie and shoot them. Not in this. First resistance. I don't know if you know what this means, but I'm just gonna tell you like my own brief summary on it. If you're shooting at somebody and they shooting at you, they're gonna, like, as they shooting you, you're gonna as you're aiming down sight, as they hitting you, you're gonna get pushed back, and then you're not gonna be on target anymore. But if you put on first resistant, as they hitting you, it's like you're like a rock. You're not gonna move, so you're still gonna be aimed on. You're still gonna be like locked on aiming on them. So this makes perfect sense if you like using a sniper rifle and you're long shooting somebody in multiplayer. It doesn't make no sense to put it on the zombies at all. Hip movement and all of that stuff. None of these, this one and this one absolutely makes no sense to put on in zombies, because it's like mostly about first resistance and moving slow. This one or this one, no, this one or this one is personal preference. As for me, this one is well balanced with the 3, so I would go with this one. Now the laser. The laser category is the category I would absolutely avoid in multiplayer, because you're giving your enemy, you let your enemy know where you are. You see, It says laser visual aim down sight. That means somebody's going to be able to see your laser and they're going to know exactly where you are. You should totally avoid this if you're playing multiplayer. But in zombie, they're not going to care about no laser. They don't even know what that even means. So this is all boils down to personal preference. But as for me, if I had to pick a choice, I would pick this one, because it gives you that time 3 hip accuracy. So in those situations that I might have to hip fire, at least I'll be able to see with the laser, and it will be able to show me where the zombie's headed. And on top of that, we have these challenges that it would say like get 200 hip kills. So this is the perfect one to put on. That's the one that I would pick. Now, fire mods. This is all boils down to personal preference. Like, to me, I really don't like to put anything on that's gonna make my gun weaker. This one is gonna increase the fire rate, but it's gonna make my gun weaker as far as damage range. And I really don't want anything making my gun weaker in zombies. Not that I have to. This one is gonna help you shoot down score streaks. I don't even use this in multiplayer. It's gonna, I mean, unless I have a specific challenge that's telling me I have to use a bullet gun to shoot down a score streak, then maybe for that particular challenge. So even in multiplayer, I wouldn't use this. This one I would definitely use in multiplayer because it controls the recoil, and the recoil on most of the assault rifles kind of suck in multiplayer. This is the one that I rock in multiplayer. So this one is not gonna help you in zombies at all, because the bullet velocity, basically, give you a quick summary if you didn't know what this does. If you shoot your gun, right, and you shoot it across to the field, as it's traveling, it's gonna like decline a little bit, to the point that by the time it hits its target, it's not gonna be as strong if it's further away. But with bullet velocity, it makes it so by the time it gets there, it's just as strong as it being further away, depending on how much you increase your bullet velocity, because each way you can increase it. So if I had to pick one of these right now, I might put on this one. I know that this is going against what I just said. It decreases your damage range, but it's going to make your gun shoot. The rapid fire is going to make it stronger. So I might just put this on. I'm going to be honest with you, depending on how much faster the bullets come out. But then again, we got double tap now. So if I had to pick a version on this, I say that you really can't. Let me see, back and forth. I think if I had to pick one, honestly, right now, if I had to make a decision, I would probably pick this one. Only because you know that there are a lot of times when we're playing zombies and we don't have Deadshot Daiquiri on. We don't even have it on. So, because we might have to wait till round 25, or there's going to be times when we are waiting until we get like a on the house. So all those other times your gun is still shooting like crazy. So in this particular aspect, I wouldn't mind controlling the recoil a little bit, only because you're not going to have Deadshot Daiquiri right away. So all these other ones, this one is going to make your gun weaker. So I would either do one or two things. I would either put this on to make it a little bit more accurate, or I would skip this category for this particular weapon altogether. And I could go against what I just said, only because this is going to make your gun shoot a little bit better also. So I guess that I would probably just either pick something to make my gun accurate on this, or pick my gun to make it a little bit accurate over here, simply because my Deadshot Daiquiri is not available to me right away. Now, if I jumped on like an old Call of Duty, like the one that is available right away, then I probably would just not pick none of these. But anyway, I don't know if I made the video way longer than it should have, but that's basically my conclusion on how I would build this gun in zombies. Now, I'm not going to show you how I would build in the multiplayer, because it would double the time of this video. But anyway, that's how I would do it on this. So I'm going to end the broadcast now. I'll check y'all later. Peace out.